Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's YBP Gang, YBP Nation, YBP Boxing, and I'm coming out with another full fight breakdown for the main event of UFC 304 in England, I believe, at 10 p.m., I think, for us in America. But for the people in the UK, it's going to be at 4 a.m., unfortunate for the people fighting. But we have Leon Edwards going up against BELAL Muhammad for the welterweight championship of the world. And I'm excited for the fight. I know a lot of people think the fight's going to be boring. It's going to be something that's going to put us to sleep. The fans are going to be falling asleep. They already got to stay up to 4 a.m. and now it's a boring fight. So, but I think, honestly, I'm excited for how they match up. I'm excited for more. I think I'm more excited for the storylines, but I guess watching it comes as a byproduct of that. I really want to see how it plays out and the results afterwards, because I think a lot of interesting stuff, man. I think, BELAL, very long win streak. This is the end. This is the pinnacle. This is the climax for him. This is the end of the road. So, not the end of the road for his career, but this is the pretty much the penultimate moment, in his career. Can he reach that hump? He's been working towards this. Obviously, he had that little bump in the road with the Leon situation, getting poked in the eye. A lot of people think, that wasn't really going his way. So, a lot of stuff has had to fall into place for him to get here. And now he's in, a very good spot. Leon as well, two unlikely guys, two guys who were disrespected on the road up. Leon Edwards, for the longest time, he was kicked out of the rankings for inactivity. People calling it boring. People said, they don't want to see him in a title fight. Blah, blah, blah. Disrespected. Long win streak. Usman didn't want to fight him. They said he was undeserving. He finally gets a shot and he knocks out Usman. BELAL now in Leon's shoes, but now he's the one challenging for the belt. Took a while to get this fight. There are other options. Leon's coach even suggested that they do a Burns fight over this one, even though BELAL beat Burns. So a lot of disrespect. The two disrespected guys. I think it's poetic. I think it's symbolic. And I think on Saturday night, I think it's going to be something even more symbolic, that we see the disrespected guy, BELAL Muhammad, get the W. But I'm gonna be explaining why I'm on BELAL Muhammad. Sorry to yap, but I had to set it up. I think I'm excited for this fight. But basically, my thoughts on this fight, to put it bluntly, is, first of all, Khabib's in BELAL's corner. You're not losing with Khabib in your corner. And I think the theme of this fight is pressure, pressure, pressure. I'm gonna say that again. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Leon does not fight well under pressure. You know what I'm saying? I think when he gets put on his back foot, I think he kind of gets uncomfortable. And I don't think Leon likes to not being able to lead the dance, not being able to control what's going on in the fight. I saw him get uncomfortable in the Kamaru Usman fight. Kamaru Usman, honestly, that fight on paper should have been way tougher, but we saw Usman, can't wrestle for let me guard my language, YouTube. He can't wrestle for anything at this stage of his career. He has terrible knees. He's talked about it. He has to go upstairs backwards. And, BELAL Muhammad is, not that. BELAL is, I don't want to say athletic, because when I look at his body, he doesn't really look like an athletic guy, but he has the wrestling pedigree. He has, I think, in my personal opinion, I think BELAL Muhammad is the best wrestler in the division. He's better than Colby. He's better than Shavkat. He's better than all those guys. I think he's conclusively the best wrestler. He's a better wrestler than Kamaru Usman. So that's a tough challenge that Leon will have to face. I know there's people out there who are like, nah, well, Leon took down Colby and he has some good grappling in his own sense. I think that could be to his detriment. I think he engages in sequences in the grappling that can put him in trouble. Now, is BELAL Muhammad like a sub threat? Is he gonna submit Leon Edwards anytime soon, or any guy anytime soon? No, but the top pressure to be able to get out of those type of positions, we saw Leon, I think, try a submission on Colby and then just pretty much just get sucked in deeper into pretty much a dominant position for Colby in those later rounds. And when Colby wanted to get the takedown on Leon Edwards, he was able to. That fight was very frustrating for me because I was so heavy on Colby. I have a prediction on my YouTube, pretty much explaining the same stuff that I'm saying. The same reason I'm picking Colby is the same reason I'm picking BELAL. I think the pressure's going to get to him, but we never saw him really test it. I saw bits and pieces with it with Kamaru Usman. We saw bits and pieces with it for Colby. I'm hoping. Let me not even say I'm hoping. I know if you follow a specific game plan, especially the game plan that has been laid out by Khabib, they've stated that, the Khabib has and I'm sure Leon on that side, they got a good game plan to stifle what Belal has, but Khabib's a GOAT in the game. You know, that's something that Leon didn't have access to. But the game plan has to be to put this guy on his back foot, make him tired, and in rounds 4 or 5 really put it on him. But establish that wrestling threat from round 1 all the way to round 5. Make him think about it, and use the jab, use the improved striking that you've acquired. But don't fall in love with that. The striking should be there to set up the wrestling, but that wrestling threat can create shots on the feet, create an uppercut, create a hook, create some head kicks. Bilal significantly improved his striking, and we even saw in the Bilal fight. In the Burns fight, he has some power. He was able to drop. I know Burns is a pretty chinny guy, but he was able to drop Burns in that fight. Take that for what you will. I'm not saying he's gonna go out there and drop Leon, but he has some hands and he has some power. He went out there and TKO'd a guy like Sean Brady, so this is not a slouch on the feet. I think Bilal has so much stuff going for him, man. So much. I think he has the cardio advantage. I think he has the wrestling advantage by far. I think on the feet, they're not that far off. And I think the biggest thing, I do liken this fight a little bit to the Kopp fight, Kopp and Makayev. Not too much. I mean, the big thing I see with Kopp and Leon Edwards is that lack of killer instinct. And that's something that I think a big criticism for me in the Colby fight. He doesn't pounce on people when he has them hurt. Actually, I take that back. In the Bilal fight, when he did hit him, he did start letting his hands go, which is kind of crazy. But we haven't seen that in other fights, past that fight. And this is the kind of fight that Leon's turned into. I don't want to compare him to Izzy, but he's kind of, become the passive king. He's not pouncing on people. He's staying very disciplined, staying very within himself. So, and I think that patience can work to his detriment in a fight where you're going to have a guy who's going to put you on your back foot. There has to be a sense of urgency to get out of these positions and attack and throw. I think Leon's going to be thrown off by the constant pace by Bilal, the constant pressure, being put on his back foot and having to move. And I think that's gonna really make him uncomfortable. It's gonna really make him think about, make him make some tough decisions in his mind. Like, do I really want to, continue this fight? How am I gonna fight this fight? Because, at the end of the day, I think a big thing in this fight too, as well, is the cage grabs. I think that's something that Bilal should be harping on to whoever is reffing the fight. Leon's a notorious cage grabber, a notorious cheater in the cage. Eye pokes and stuff like that. I wonder how much he resorts to that in this fight. That's going to be a big nerve in this fight. So I think, barring any of the cheating that Leon likes to do, I think, a fair fight, I think Bilal could really go out there and put together a 5-round dominant decision. I think Bilal truly has the tools. I thought Colby had the tools. I still believe to this day, I think a prime Colby, a prime Usman that has knees, and we have prime Bilal right here, ready for the taking. I think those guys laid out the blueprint. Bilal just has to go out there and follow it, and he has a win, But I'm not going to sit up here and say that I understand why Leon's the favorite, man. He has the, on paper, he's a very well-rounded guy. He has, good defensive grappling. He can even grapple himself. He has good striking, good head kick. But I see the holes in this game. I don't see him as this perfect fighter. I don't see him as someone who should be a minus 200 favorite. Same with Tom Aspinall. I think these are pretty close fights. I think or at least they can play out pretty close. I see there's a way where this could play out very lopsided. And same with the Tom Aspinall one. I mean, there's a world where Tom Aspinall just sparks him, but I think there's a world where Curtis Blades sparks Tom Aspinall as well. And to keep it on topic, I think there's a world where Bilal goes out there and dominates him for 5 rounds. I think there's more worlds where that happens than there is, Leon Edwards winning. In my humble opinion, I think the minute winner is Bilal Muhammad. I think there's gonna be, more moments where he's on top, where he's laying down his ground and pound, where he's laying and praying, where he's on top, collected control time, and I just don't think Leon Edwards has the capability to land that significant damage to really steal a round from Bilal Muhammad if there is heavy control time. Not like a guy like, for example, like a JDM. JDM knows how to win moments. Arnold Allen, maybe. Something like that. So, devastating guys on the feet. I mean, not that Leon can't do that, but he's more of a patient guy. He's not just someone who can throw a shot out there and, make you do the chicken dance. So, those are my thoughts on the fight, man. I think Bilal is, a very good fighter in his own right, and I think he has a style to make fights, and I think although Leon Edwards might be, let me not say that. I was about to say, although Leon Edwards might be the better fighter. I mean, I don't think that's a crazy statement to say. I think Leon Edwards is the better fighter all around, but I think Belal has a style to really make him look bad in this matchup. And I think we've seen glimpses of Leon's weakness, but I think Belal Muhammad can really exploit that. I do think Leon Edwards probably beats more styles in this division than Belal Muhammad does, but I think when these two guys fight, you're going to see who's better between these two. So give me Belal Muhammad, you know, the Palestinian, the man from Chicago. That's one of, I think he's Palestinian, right? He flies the flag. You know, the man from Chicago. We could be walking out of UFC 304 with not, instead of having two UK champions, two champions from Chicago. Chicago stand up. Chicago Nation stand up. All that. Chi-Town. Shout out to Kanye West. All that type of stuff. Right. Kanye's from Chicago, right? I think so. Yeah, so, yeah, shout out to all that. Belal Nation stand up. Remember the name. Remember the decision. Never forget it. Leave a like, review, subscribe. Peace out, Moscar. You know what it is.